Welcome to toyreviewland, everybody. Today we're going to look at something a little bit different. I pulled out one of my old Spider-Man figures. Now this is a big, gigantic action figure, and I actually didn't buy this originally. I bought this off of eBay used because I was using it years and years ago for figure drawing because I studied as an artist a long time ago. And this is the most articulated action figure I have ever seen in my life. And the anatomy on it is really awesome. Spider-Man is amazing. Now, just to give you a little bit of scale on how big this figure is, here is my little tiny Spider-Man that I use in the stop motion videos. Look how tiny he is. And this is my Spider-Man Marvel Legends figure that we looked at not that long ago. Look how small he is. He comes up to this big Spider-Man's knee. Oh my gosh. So this Spider-Man is massive. Look, here's my hand. He is enormous. And he is so articulated. I don't even know if you can get this anymore. I paid about, I don't know, $35 for this, but this was years ago. And this is such an awesome figure, but I used it to pose him and use for drawing anatomy for figure class. And I'm going to show you how cool this figure is and all the ways you can move him around. So let's take a look. Now, first of all, you can straighten him up and his whole torso turns. And he's got an ab crunch, as my buddy Erndworm likes to say. You can crunch him down, and he can even go backwards, which is kind of cool, like that. But his anatomy is so well done on this figure, and I actually got one of these for a friend of mine who ran an art school, and he wanted me to paint Spider-Man gray so you could see the anatomy better, which looked pretty cool, but I kept Spidey the same old colors because he just looks so awesome. But you can move his neck around, and his head goes back pretty far and turns all the way around. And so you can make him look down and up and all directions. Just pretty awesome. His shoulders go in and out, which is pretty cool. His arms go all around, and you can turn his biceps, and he turns at the elbow a couple different ways. He's got like a double joint on the elbow, so you can really bend his arms. It sounds kind of rough because he kind of cracks and pops a lot when you're moving his limbs around, but he is really cool. And then look at this. You can turn his hands and you can move all his fingers. Isn't that awesome? His fingers all move independently, and even his thumb goes in and out. That is pretty articulated. So you can make him hold things. You can put him in all kinds of poses to draw from, which is what I was using him for. And this is just such a cool figure. And of course, it's Spider-Man, so he's doubly awesome. And so you can turn him at the waist like this, which is pretty cool. And then his legs are awesome. They turn all around, and you can move them back and forward and backward like that. And he's got a double bend at the knee, so you can kind of make him crouch. So you can kind of put him in that classic kind of crouching Spider-Man pose, which is pretty cool. It's hard to make him stand that way just because he's not really balanced too well, but it's pretty awesome. And I love his feet. You can turn his feet in and out, and they swivel like that, and his toes bend up and down, which is kind of cool. They bend down a long way. Ouch, that looks kind of painful. Let's get him out of that pose. But that is really cool. So he can kind of crouch down like that, and can kind of look like classic Spidey, like kind of perched on a rooftop. which is kind of cool. So you can move him in all sorts of directions and poses, and the back looks really cool. I mean, all his musculature is so well defined. It's so awesome to draw from him. And when I drew from him, I would put him under one direct light source from the side so you could really see all of his muscles. And it really helped getting a good idea of what the human body is capable of, because not many people look like this and have this kind of awesome, like perfect musculature, which is really cool. But of course, he's a Spider-Man and he's awesome. And this is just such a cool action figure. So I pulled him out of storage. I actually had him boxed up with a lot of my art supplies a little while ago because I thought you might like to check out this really cool figure. Now, it does take a little bit of time to pose him and to get him to stand just how you want. But once you get him in that awesome pose, he can stand up pretty good. He's not doing a great job right now, but you could also lean him like against things. And there you can set him up in an awesome pose and shine a light on him. And then you have a really great model to draw from. So I used him for art classes and for drawing and coming up with superhero type poses and stuff. But he is such an awesome action figure, probably the coolest action figure I have ever seen. So I thought you would like to take a look at him. And I'm not sure if you can still find this action figure on eBay. I don't even remember what they called him actually. But it is just like this gigantic Spider-Man action figure. I think it's 16 inches tall, which is pretty darn tall. And compared to our tiny little Marvel Legends Spider-Man, which is actually kind of a normal action figure size, this dude is gigantic. And he just looks totally awesome. So thanks for checking out my big old Spider-Man. And I am so excited that Spidey is going to be in the new Marvel Avengers movie. I think that is awesome. And I'm also going to look at some more new Spider-Man toys coming up really soon. So keep checking back for some more Spider-Man videos in the future. So let me know what you think of this Spider-Man action figure in the comments. And if you like this video and you haven't done so yet, why don't you go ahead and subscribe by clicking on the great big orange subscribe button. And to watch some more fun toy videos, click on one of the pictures. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.